What do you choose? It's a very controversial, hot topic, uncomfortable, awkward, and I always bring my teddy bear when we've got one of those topics to chat about. What do you choose for your life? What do you actually get to choose? And here's a list of tough questions. Do we choose what we eat? So if there's chocolate or salad, do we get to choose between the two? Every meal we've ever eaten, who was there? If you like to drink alcohol, do you get to choose? Could you choose to drink water? And I'm not saying that there's no right or wrong, it's just a choice. And do we get to make that choice? The people that we have in our life, do we get to choose? And it's interesting because some people say to me, no, I can't choose my parents or I can't choose my brothers and sisters. But there's a different question. Could we choose how much time we invest, spend or waste with people? And if we have to see people, if we really think that we have to, could we not go as often and not stay as long? Great question. Unless you love the people in your life and you want to go and see them on a regular basis. What about our career path? Did we choose it? Did we interview for it? Did we study for it? Did we do the training for it? Or did somebody force us to do it? Do we have a choice about where we work, what work we do, what we do for a career path? And if we are passionate about something, if we're excited about something, could we go and do that? Could we? Could it be a choice? What about all the money that we've ever spent, wasted, invested? Who was always there with our money when we decided to spend it, waste it or invest it? And did we choose? Could we have chosen to leave that product in the store or did we choose to buy it and take it home? Do we get to make choices? And often people will share with me, it's not my fault, I didn't do it, it was forced on me, I can't change it, it's not possible, and all those things that humans seem to make either justification about or excuses for or reasons for why their life isn't the way they want it to be. And that's why I'm asking the question, because do you have people in your life, or have you ever said, I wish my life was different, or I'm not happy, I wish I was healthier, fitter and stronger, I wish I had a better career path, a better business, a better job, I wish I had more money, financial freedom, I wish I had better people in my life, I wish I had people in my life who cared about me, loved me, respected me. And my question is always this, how much of that is a choice and could we choose differently? And the reason I'm asking is a very long time ago, I was a very young girl and now I'm a very old lady, but that option of choice was shared with me as choices for my life. I get to choose. And it came from a head doctor, from a psychologist, psychiatrist, neuroscientist, I can't really remember. It was somebody that studied the brain. And their question to me was simply, what do you want your life to be like and could you choose it to be that way, or will you allow somebody else to take control of your life? And it's a very confrontational question. That's I felt uncomfortable and awkward, and my goal is not to make anybody feel uncomfortable or awkward, but what that did for my life was it made me aware that whatever happens, I have a choice. Now, there's some things that we have no control over. For example, the weather, the traffic, maybe the government. We do get to vote, though, if you live in a democracy. That we can't control what other people do. We can't control what other people say. But do we have full control over how we react or respond to the way people treat us, what people say about us, the weather, the traffic? And that's where it becomes, for me, really exciting and life becomes, I'm a little bit of a control freak. How about you? I like to be in control of my life, not somebody else, not the weather, not the government, not my finances. I want to be in control of everything that I possibly can be. And then if I haven't got control over it, I want to make sure that I've got control over the way I react or respond to it. So one of the things that I practice with on a day-to-day basis, of course, is the weather. I have absolutely no control over the weather. I'm sure that you don't either. But I get to decide whether I get grumpy about the weather or whether I love it. So if it's really cold and raining and misty and scary and I call it cuddly, and I love free water coming out of the sky. And I don't call it rain, I call it free water coming out of the sky, because if we didn't have water coming out of the sky, there'd be some challenges. You, me, everybody can complain about the government, for example, and what the rules the government throws out there, or we don't like this particular policy of the government. I can't control what the government does. I can vote, and then I can react or respond appropriately. So the government might say, this is how you have to run your business, or this is the way you can't run your business, or this is the rule of the land and you have to abide by that rule of the land. But I have a choice as a human being, so I could not obey the laws of the land and end up in jail, but I still have a choice. I have to accept the consequences of my choice, of course, but I don't have to be told what to do. And the reason this is so important to me is I, on a day-to-day basis, have people share with me that they're not very happy. They wish they could lose weight, they wish they had a different job, they wish they had more money, they wish they had different people in their life, or a combination of all of those. And I always ask, what have you chosen? So I'm going to give you the harshest example of all. I have been an exercise professional for a very long time, and I've been an exercise professional predominantly training women. And one of the things that a lot of women have said to me, is I can't lose weight. I want to lose weight. I've tried everything. I've been on every diet. I've been to every exercise class. I've tried everything. I can't lose weight. And I'm going to use the example that the head doctor shared with me. And this doctor, by the way, was a member at one of my health clubs and ended up doing quite a few seminars for my members who often complain about not being able to lose weight. And the head doctor's suggestion was this, that if you are mentally healthy, if you're mentally strong, if you're mentally tough, you take full responsibility for your life. If you're mentally weak, if you're mentally unhealthy, or if you are scared of becoming mentally unhealthy, mentally weak, it's when you start blaming other people. If you blame other people, blame your experiences, blame your childhood, blame your parents, blame your teachers, blame the government, blame the weather for anything that ever happens to you, we don't take responsibility, so we don't make good decisions, so then of course we become weaker, we become mentally weaker. Well, I want to be mentally strong. How about you? So the suggestion is that everything that happens in our life, we look at how can I take full responsibility for that. So at one of these seminars, that I got this head doctor to do for me for my members, the question was asked again, can you lose weight? Is it possible to lose weight? Why don't people lose weight? And again, there was a lot of people that shared that it was not possible with them and they had tried everything. And the suggestion was this. Not if I held a gun to your head and if you don't lose weight, you're going to die. It was this. Because often people say they don't care about themselves and they care more about their family, and that's why they don't have time to exercise or they don't have time to eat healthy food. The question was, if I held a gun to your child's head and said, if you don't lose weight, we will kill your children. Now, I know that's a very harsh example from the extreme, but it was very interesting to watch, and since then, every single person that I've ever asked that question of, the answer was immediate. Of course, if somebody loves their kids, they immediately share this, I would lose weight. Without hesitation. If somebody threatened my children and I had to lose weight to save my child's life, I would lose weight. I'll give you another example. I have somebody in my life who actually had to lose weight. She could provide an organ for her child. And part of that was that she had to lose weight to be able to be healthy enough to go through the surgery to be able to give one of her organs to her children. And she lost an enormous amount of weight to be able to do that. Is it possible that it's not that we can't do it? We might have chosen not to do it, and could we choose to do it with the right motivation, with the right inspiration, then what exactly is that inspiration? Do we need to find the right reasons why to make the right decisions and the right choices? Now, I'm going to give the toughest one for me because I'm not a parent, but again, I always ask this question. If I'm a parent and I'm not healthy, fit and strong, if I'm a parent and I have a lousy, stinking, rotten job, if I'm a parent and I'm broke and constantly searching for money and complaining about money, and if I'm a parent and I have terrible relationships, what example am I setting for my children? How would my children know that it's possible to be healthy, fit and strong, to have a career or business that they're passionate about, to be financially free and to have great people in their life? How could they learn how to choose if they didn't have somebody setting that example? Which is why I always ask the question, if I'm a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, a leader, a manager, a pastor, somebody that's in a responsibility role, do I have the responsibility to live the example of great choices for the children in my life. Now, I don't have any children, but I have worked with thousands of other people's children. I invest a lot of time in schools and a lot of time. I want our kids to grow up in a world where they know it's possible to be healthy, fit and strong, where they know it's possible to have a career or business that they love, where they know that they can be financially free if they set up the right plan. And that's the interesting thing about financial freedom. It's actually got nothing to do with how much money you earn. It's how you allocate your money and what you do with it. There's a thing called waste money and spend money versus invest money. And the wealthiest people in the world will often share with you that they didn't start with any money. They just learnt how to allocate effectively, which is what I want for our kids. I want them to learn that. But how will they learn it? How will they learn how to choose what to do with their money, what to do with their body, what to do with their career path, what to do with their relationship choices if they don't have great people to set the example? So as I always share, I went looking for people. I was 13 years of age, and I went looking for people who could inspire me and excite me and motivate me to achieve my goals. I set some serious goals at 13 years of age that I wanted to achieve by the time I was 50. As a child, because 13 is really still a child, I decided that I wanted to have a career that I loved. I wanted to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of my life. I wanted to be financially free because I had been surrounded by people who complained about money and didn't have enough money. And I really wanted to have great people in my life because I had some people in my life that I either didn't respect or didn't respect me or didn't treat me nicely, or there were some people who I looked into their life and thought, no, I don't want to live my life like that. I want my life to be different. So I went looking for people who had all of those things going. I wanted to choose that for my life, but I wanted to know that it was possible. And unfortunately, sadly, doesn't matter how you look at it, I couldn't find anybody. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of people in the world who are healthy, fit and strong, have a career that they love, they're financially free, and they have great relationships. There must be. I just couldn't find any when I was 13. So I'm asking you, perhaps as an adult, to set the same challenge for yourself as I did as a 13-year-old. I decided that I would grow up making sure that all of that happened. So that when a 13-year-old little girl looked into my life and said, Rowie, is it possible to choose to be healthy, fit and strong? Because I was overweight when I made that choice. I had chosen to eat lots of food. I had chosen not to exercise. And then I had to make a different choice, which was to eat less food and to do more exercise. And I decided to do that for the rest of my life. I understood that if I spent more than I earned, I wouldn't have any money. So I had to make the choice of learning about money, allocating money effectively, and spending less than I earned so that I could become financially free. I had to make a choice between becoming a lawyer, which is what my dad wanted me to do, and becoming an exercise professional, which is what I was passionate about doing. Now, I had to make a choice. At 13, that's a pretty tough choice, particularly if your father wants you to be a lawyer. But if you have a driving force inside you, if you've got a passion, why would you let somebody make your choices for you? We get to choose. We get to decide what our life's going to look like. Whether somebody is telling us what we can or can't do, or whether we're good or bad enough, or we've got enough money or not, whether we've got enough brains or not. I've heard all of that, and people have said them all to me. Rowie, you can't be successful because you're a woman, you've got blonde hair, you don't have a tertiary education, you didn't finish high school, you're an exercise professional. Nobody ever becomes financially free as an exercise professional. And I just didn't want to buy into that. One of the things I'm really excited about, I keep my blonde hair, and I'm going to, because I actually believe that I'm not smart enough, technically smart enough to realise that it can't be done. I'm street smart enough to know that it can be done. There are a lot of people who are so incredibly smart, they analyse everything and then choose not to do it because they think it can't be done. Well, everybody that's ever achieved something, they were told that whatever they wanted to do was impossible. Everything that's ever been achieved was once considered impossible. But that person that was told it's not possible had to make a choice to not believe the negativity, and they had to choose to follow their heart, to follow their passion. So that's what I'm asking you to do. If you're an adult and you have people looking into your life, particularly children, do we have a responsibility to choose a lifestyle that will set the example for the people in our life? So do we get to choose between chocolate and salad? Of course we do. Now, I'm not saying that chocolate is a bad choice, but if I eat only chocolate and I never eat anything else, what is the consequence? If I only drink alcohol and never drink water, what will be the consequence? If I always have a lousy, stinking, rotten job that only pays a lousy, stinking, rotten bills, and I don't choose to get educated or do the training to have the career path or the business or the job that I'm passionate about, see, I get to choose that. I get to choose whether I wake up in the morning and exercise or I wake up in the morning and I don't. I get to choose whether I eat healthy food or I don't. I get to choose whether I accept poor behaviour, disrespectful people being rude to me. I get to choose, I can't change what they do, but I get to choose how I respond or react to them, and I either choose not to respond or react at all, or I choose to respond with kindness, with love, with graciousness. And we all get to do that, don't we? We don't have to yell and scream at people. We don't have to fight with people. We don't have to type nasty things. There's a great observation. Before you send a text message, before you send an email, before you contact anybody, do you have a choice about what comes out of your mouth? A lot of people say to me, oh no, I can't, and my mouth just runs away with itself. I'll go back to my psychiatrist, head doctor. If I blame whatever it is, my subconscious brain, for the words that I'm using, versus I take responsibility for everything that comes out of my mouth, that comes out of my typing, texting, posting, whatever I'm doing, should I take responsibility for it, and should I accept the consequences of it? Do I have a choice between sending out a nasty email or not? Do I have a choice about sending it or posting something horrible about somebody or not? Do I have a choice of writing a nasty review about a business? I read lots of those and it makes me sad. If you've got a challenge with the business, go and complain to the business and talk to the manager or the owner of the business and let them know that you're not happy. Why be the person that tells the whole world about something that the whole world can't change? See, we get to choose that, don't we? We get to choose our words. Interestingly, if we can choose our words, doesn't that mean we get to choose our thoughts? If I choose my thoughts, does that mean I have more control over my actions? Which means if I get to choose my actions, would I have more control over the result? So if I eat healthy food and I do regular exercise and I choose that, what's the result going to be? If I choose to do the education, training and learning to have a career or business that I love, what's the outcome going to be? If I choose to invest my money instead of wasting it, what's the outcome going to be? And if I choose to have great people in my life rather than accept poor behaviour, disrespectful people, and most importantly, the way I treat myself. If I am disrespectful to myself, if I talk to myself badly, what's going to happen to, what will the result be? What will the outcome be? Is it possible that our self-esteem, our self-confidence, everything about ourselves is a choice? And I'll go back to that very awkward, uncomfortable, confrontational conversation with the head doctor that said, Rowie, if you want to be in full control of your life, you have to accept full responsibility for everything that you do. If you can accept being mentally weak, then start blaming other people and stop taking responsibility for everything that happens. So I took it one step further than that, by the way. I decided that even if it wasn't my fault, I'd still take responsibility. I wanted to practice. I wanted to get into the habit of being the person who took full responsibility for everything that happened to me, so that it became a habit. I didn't want to be the person that blamed anybody else for anything that happened to me. I wanted to take responsibility. So my last observation as far as happy lives go, all of those choices from the past, we can't change them. All of the bad relationships I've ever had, all the money I've wasted, all the silly people I put into my life, all the bad choices I made as far as career opportunities. There's a whole heap of bad decisions that I've made in the past. How about you? They're in the past. Can we change them? Is there anything that we can do, anything that we can change about what we've done in the past? And one would suggest that that would probably be quite silly. I can't change anything. But here's what I can do. I could be bitter and twisted and regretful, or I could be excited about learning from the mistakes that I made in the past, applying the lessons now and making sure that my future is much brighter. So if I've made poor relationship decisions, now I know what not to do for my future relationships. If I've made poor money decisions in the past, now I know what not to do so I can apply my great decisions, my choices for the future. If I've made poor career decisions in the past, and I'm very privileged because I decided at 13 that I wasn't going to be a lawyer, I was going to be an exercise professional and love my life. So I don't need to change that decision. But it doesn't matter how old you are. There's so many examples of people over 50, over 60, even over 70 who did a certain job or career path their whole life and hated it and then decided they were going to change it, and they did, because we get a choice. So whatever choices you've made in the past, whatever decisions you've made in the past, you can't change them, no. But can we learn from them? Can we grow from them? Can we become wiser and better and stronger because of them? Apply everything we've learnt from the past to our future to make sure that, and these are my 4 favourite things to be really excited about. Can you choose to be healthy, fit and strong? And even if you can't choose to be healthy because you've got some challenging health genetic thing that's happened to you, could you still choose to be healthy and fit and strong, because fit and strong people can handle a sickness, an illness, a disease so much better? Can I choose to be in a career path, a business, a job that I love, or can I choose to get out of one that I don't love? Please say yes, because we all have a choice. Can I choose to be financially free even if I don't earn very much money? Can I choose to use my money wisely, to invest my money wisely so I can be financially free? And can I choose to have beautiful people in my life? Can I choose to remove the people out of my life who are disrespectful, who treat me poorly, who aren't excited about my goals? Could all of those things be a choice? Could we apply every lesson from the past to our choices in the present to make sure that our future is happy, exciting, and most importantly, waking up every day, doing what we love, with people that we love, doing it with, in an environment that we love, and whatever we can't control, can we still control how we react or respond to it? So whether it's free water coming out of the sky or it's 40 degrees hot, isn't that awesome? Whether there's a freeway, motorway full of traffic and you can't go anywhere, could we choose to enjoy music and learn something while we're sitting in the car? If people are being rude and obnoxious to us and treating us badly, could we choose to A, not be like that person, and B, decide how we react or respond back? We can't change other people, but we have a full choice, a full range of choices of how we respond or react to the way people treat us. So isn't it nice to know that whatever happens in our life, we have a choice. Ha ha.